Hello everyone, welcome back to series where I talk about all the games I played in the previous month. Month for this video is March of 2026. I missed the last one because my laptop fell apart and I lost everything. I just wasn't in the mood to do it again. So I'm going to try to cover 2 months in this one. So February, March, a lot of overlap anyway, so it doesn't matter. So let's get right into it because I tend to ramble and ramble. So let's go. I went back and finished Gears of War. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but after finishing the actual story of the game, I played somebody online because how could I resist some old school 2006 online? I miss this era where every game nearly had an online mode. It could be slapped together, it could be crap, but it was always a little bit extra. It was sometimes terrible, sometimes fantastic. Singularity, for example, resistance games like that, it really made it. Last was probably one of the best examples. Gears of War Online, I don't understand. I genuinely can't comprehend. I don't think I've ever been this consistently bad at an online game. Maybe in some strategy stuff, but wow, I would go multiple games, dead, 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 no kills, zero, what, maybe one or two. It feels like I'd be there trying to shoot an enemy. He's just like, ooh, 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 and I'm like, how? How are you doing that? I don't understand. I feel like I shot you 3 times with a shotgun, then I ran up and you just goes bang, and I'm dead. I don't get it. I've stopped playing it since then, but I'd like to go back for more. There's just it's one of those games I'd like to go for the platinum on because it's such an old school trophy guide. Get all the collectibles that you can miss throughout the levels. Get 1,000 kills online or whatever. But it's like, yeah, it's like 10,000 kills. It's just called seriously. It's a kind of online. It's just this kind of like time wasting garbage trophy. It's like kind of miss. But the online, it kills me. It wrecks me. It shoves a chainsaw right into me and just tears me apart. I played some High Guard again because my laptop falling apart and being out without one for 2 weeks. I was going to do like a trophy chronicles for this, just talk about getting the platinum, and I will do that. I get to it. It'll be offline for a month before I do it, but still, is it the worst game of all time? I'd like to quickly say before I start, when it got announced at the Game Awards, I was pretty much on board with everyone else. Terrible final reveal. But just, I remember like, oh, it's from the Titanfall 2 developers. I like Titanfall 2, and then like, okay, keeping it. Oh, and then the second I saw the game, I was like, whatever. But I'm not even into hero shooters in general. I played Overwatch a bunch with my friends. I played Marvel Rivals for about a month, but it's not my genre. I can get into it, but it's not a thing. I'm just like, I'm setting my head towards hero shooter. My eyes glaze over. But I gave it a try because I after hearing a lot about the numbers dropping and the bad reception, like what people asking how long will it last, I was keeping track of the numbers for a while. I was thinking about it a lot. It's like it's almost like they wanted it to, like what were they thinking about how they did certain things? But I always thought it's probably going to be fine. Not a genre I'm into, but from even from looking at it, it's like, yeah, it's probably going to be like a 4, 5, 6 out of 10 game. It's just going to be fine, but forgotten. Then I gave it a try. On my first night, I had 3 games. On the first game, it was 3v3. I think 2 of the people left. It was very weird. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was exactly what I expected. It was fine. It was empty and dull, but it was fine. 3 games later and having one of them take half an hour, and that actually made me kind of crash out a little bit. Like, what the heck? Why was that 30 minutes? But the next day I went back playing something else, and I was thinking about it. I did want to go back, and I had another few games, and again at some point I was kind of like something about the emptiness and the nothing happening, and the repetitive structure of gear up, running around the same map, everyone getting the same crystals and the same chests in the exact same place. And then the sword appears, I can't remember what it was called, but it's what you need to plant into your enemy base. Then that takes a minute and a half to spawn, and then you get there, and then you do that again. If you do it twice in a row and you win, you win. Or if you get their main generator, I can't remember what it's called. It's been about a month since I played, since I went offline. But it could be they could attack you, and then you'll attack them, and then they'll attack you and fail. And it can like some of these rounds will take 20 to 30 minutes, and yeah, you're all going to the same place where you're going to see enemies or like opponents consistently enough. But at one point, I was running forward on my horse, and like it's since that's faster, I was like, okay, I'm trying to get there. Go, 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 go. I have to be close. Wow, I'm a mile away, and that happened 4 separate times. And I'm not talking about 4 separate times like overall. 4 separate times on the way to one destination. I was like, surely I have to be there now. No, 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 no. It's like They needed to cut this down. But yeah, I got the platinum trophy. Is it the worst game of all time? God no. I've played 10 worst games in the last year that I've loved. Absolutely not the worst game ever. If anyone says it's the worst game ever, you haven't played more than 2 games. Fine. Maybe you play. Yeah, you need to play like more than 4 games. Is it good? No. But it's not the biggest piece of shit of all time. It's just dull, uninspired. Nothing about it stands out. Nothing about it is great. But I had fun with it. I'll be honest. I'm not going to pretend I didn't. It's just nothing really. Would I have played it if it was even €10? Probably. I think that might have been my limit if I had been thinking about it. It shot down a lot faster than I expected. I thought this would go like maybe like end of April, middle of May. It would have announced to shut down. I didn't think it'd be gone in less than 2 months. That was crazy. But the numbers just kept dropping. It was like 3,000 on average, 2,000, ooh, 1,000, oh, 600. But in my own weird way, I do miss it. But at the same time, even when the new character came, I was like, oh, I'll play it once before it shuts down. Without the inspiration of just getting the platinum before it goes away forever, there was nothing keeping me there. There's a few standout highlights of my time there where you're the last person left and you just manage to get like 2 kills against your opponents and you sneak into victory. Yes, that is fucking satisfying. I'll admit. Or you'll have your rocket launcher hit somebody dead on, then they're trying to run at you like bang bang bang. Got him. Oh, yes, there are great moments. The problem is there was like 3 of them over the course of 30 hours, so there's too few, too far between, and just too short. Yeah, and there's people that say Jeff Keighley killed the game. No, this game would have died probably faster, if not just as fast, if it hadn't been announced at the Game Awards. I think one comment put it best when it says like this game was destined to die in the back of the Steam library, but because of Jeff, it got a public execution. And I think that's pretty much on brand. That just pretty much sums it up. But yeah, Highguard. It was an interesting journey to follow. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and now it's dead. In my own weird way, I do miss it though. Maybe next time. On my journey of playing the garbage games of the year, I picked up a bunch for like 2, 3, €4 on a website. Some of the games cost more to ship than they did to actually, to the cost of the game, and it's in the same country. G.I. Joe, Rise of the Cobra. A game I saw brief snippets of gameplay because that's usually what I do before I get them, obviously, because I want fun bad games, not generic third first person shooter in a dark area because the PS3 and Xbox 360 plagued by that. I expect nothing from G.I. Joe, and holy shit, I'm genuinely still in shock at how much I enjoyed this game. Like, if I saw this gameplay, I would not have touched it. And I can't. There's nothing I can say about it that's going to sound like, oh, I can see how you'd like this. It's just a kind of half third person, half like isometric style shooter. You run forward, room to room, shoot the enemies, go on. Sometimes you shoot like towers or turrets, and you can collect collectibles. You get new characters along the way. Who'll have like every character has like a normal shoot, a circle special move, and then when you get enough of enemy kills, you get like a triangle move, which is basically invincible mode. You go G.I. Joe mode. And at the start, I was like, wow, the frame rate sucks. I feel nearly sick. It's generic. It's just your average. Room full of enemies. Boom, boom, boom. Next. But at some point, after my 7th attempt of at a level, which, because you go back to the start every time, it's, even when you like the game, that's infuriating. But that's kind of my first clue. Like, I've tried this level 7 times. That's a good sign already. But then just in the middle of one of my G.I. Joe transformation things when I was like gone invincible and the music started playing, I just had this moment of, wow, you know what? I'm enjoying this. I'm having fun? Huh. I'm actually having fun. Crazy. And since then I loved it. I'm genuinely in shock at how much I'm enjoying it. I couldn't see it coming. It's like 10 levels, like 15 something levels long, so I'll probably go back for the platinum in that too. I'm having it's just I don't even know anything about G.I. Joe. It's not like a franchise I'm passionate about, just maybe just hit me at the right time. It's also unintentionally funny so many times. I swear, the first time I was just there like, just sitting back and somebody comes up to him and goes, "Yo Joe." which apparently is their catchphrase or something. If I had been drinking water when they first said that, I swear it would have hit the wall. It would have fucking gone right across the room. I could, I choked without fucking drinking anything. And some of the characters' names even. One guy just like, what's up, dial tone, and I'd be burst up every time I hear it. Like, oh yeah, I forgot that's the character's name. One character's name, I remember I was like looking through this. I was like, okay, I'll go with the Duke and Beachhead. Some of the characters, it's just so stupidly silly and in the best way. Again, it's like my third time saying it, but I'm just blown away how much I enjoy what looks like generic, average at best PS3 early isometric style third person shootery stuff. One of the biggest games in a month is Resident Evil Requiem. I've been pretty much a lifelong fan of Resident Evil. Ever since I played I think it was like 3, started in a fire, saw some zombies come at me and went, nope, as a kid. And me and my brother playing Code Veronica as kids and like in the dark and then zombies coming out of vents and like him scrambling to turn off the PS2 and I'm like him just going, turn on the light and just like running and scrambling for that. I've kept up ever since. And in the newest generation, 7's a fantastic game if you're not playing on Madhouse and then it sucks. It was fun. And I played it once, never had much desire to go back, but I enjoyed it. 9 might be the scariest one yet, to be honest. I don't know if anyone else, how many people are on board with that, but while I was playing this game, I felt like a constant. Oh dear God, my mic wasn't even with me the whole time. Oh, did any of that pick up? Better of. Oh, I just looked down. I was like, why is there an empty space? But yeah, I just felt like there was like a constant pressure on my brain. Like I'd be playing it, and I just felt it forcing, like pushing. Sometimes I play the game like, okay, it doesn't feel as scary this time. Maybe I've after adjusted or I've gotten past the scariest part, and then like 40 minutes later, it's like, ooh. It dies down a lot in the second half because it's kind of split into two characters, Leon and Grace. New character, she's fine, I guess. Just like Ethan, she's whatever. I will be honest, I fucking hate the stuttering. I don't know if it's me, but it gets to a point at a certain stage where every single cutscene has what's going on? Where am I? Why are you here? Like, it gets a bit much. And I usually don't have a problem with characters being scared. I'm usually one big mocking people who have that opinion of like, oh, that character, that stupid character, went upstairs instead of out the door. It's like, yeah, it's easy to say that while you're sitting back with your hand down your pants and you've never been in a situation where you're chased to like mock a character for doing a stupid thing in a horror movie. I'm usually not gonna like. I usually can say, yeah, in a stressful situation, you never know what you're gonna do. But where every single fucking cutscene with Grace has it gets really annoying, and she never has a stutter in like the last cutscenes in certain cutscenes. So it's not like I don't. It never came across like she just has a stutter. I think if there's even one cutscene which just shows that yes, she has a natural stutter, it wouldn't bother me as much. But it's just tone it the fuck down. Or other than that, though, fantastic game, absolutely incredible. I don't know if it's as good as 7. I don't know. It's hard. I'll have to play it again. Like, I've played 7 through and through. I got to platinum for myself. I got to platinum for somebody else. I played it just for fun. I played through it so many times on every difficulty, done with multiple sort of speed runs and stuff. So it's harder to say. Every little flaw in that game has been presented to me through playing through Madhouse and doing every section 100 times. So we'll see it on a playthrough or a repeat. I went back to play Mafia. I didn't think I'd enjoy this game as much as I did either. At some point, I just kind of the characters, the world, the city, the music, just the tone, just the whole thematic. Just they did this so perfectly. I feel like I'm there. It's just such a weirdly relaxing, mellow game for for something where you're constantly killing people and people are trying to kill you. I just feel like they got the mood so perfect. I was just surprised how much I care about the characters, the story, just everything going on. I started Mafia 2 as well, quickly I mentioned. I've only played like the first level of it, so I haven't gotten into it as much yet, but I hope it can hold up, because I get it now. I get why this series is such a big, popular thing. I never really did before, but now it's kind of sad, because the best days are behind it, it seems like. I've done a few levels of Ace Combat 7. flying kind of dogfighting shooting games like Air Force games are never something I had a huge interest in, but I always was curious to see if I'd like. And overall, it's fine. The TP is on. It's okay. Like, no, don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying it when I'm playing it, but I don't feel like a huge push. I'll do one mission at a time, then go away for a week. But if there's one thing I will say, the game is spectacular visually. This game can be played in VR, and if there's like I would have had a different answer to this before. If there's one game in the world I could play in VR, it would be this. Because when I fly through the clouds for the first time, the music starts picking up and it starts doing it just right, and then you come up through this up into the sun, or when you're just flying down into the water, it's like swerve and all that. Oh my god, it is spectacular. I can't even think of a better word for it. If there's one, I just want to experience flying through the clouds just like that, out through the clouds, just once in VR. If I could do that, I would be happy. The big game of this month for sure, Crimson Desert. For anyone who doesn't know, this was my number one most anticipated game for most years in the last few years. Except for the year Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was coming out, this was always number one with no competition. Oh, does it hold up? Ooh, it's been 20 minutes. I have to keep this short. It's like they took all of the awkward PS3 controls. You know how, like, back in the day, you play a first person shooter, for example, and if you pressed L1, you didn't know if it was going to crouch, sprint, throw a grenade at your foot, shoot a grapple hook, because controls aren't standardized. Nowadays, if you're playing any game, X jumps, circle rolls or dodges, R3 is like a melee hit in certain games, L3 is sprint. Every square is reload, L2 is aim, R2 is shoot. Everything is just a standard. Crimson Desert is one of the most bizarre controlled games I've ever experienced. It's like you played 100 games at the same time, and then somebody gave you controls. Like, oh god. X is to sprint. It's like playing Grand Theft Auto 3. To shoot your bow, hold L2 to aim, let go. You think you press R2 or something, but no, just let go. I had 25 arrows at one point, didn't get into a single fight, and then I had 3. Because, to be fair, I played Resident Evil 9 right before this, and L2 was the zoom button in that game, so the amount of times I'm going to zoom into this. Like Final Fantasy 15, the pick up button and the stupid jump button are the same fucking button. Come on. And worst of all for me, the amount of times you have to hold the fucking button. Like, this is a mechanic that has been really popular since I around the times of No Man's Sky, and it drives me up the wall. Why? I want to talk to this person. I want to talk to this person. Done. Oh, I'm gonna pause. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Pause real quick. No, unpause. It's I can't. I really despise having to hold buttons to do anything. I get it in games, for example, shooter games. Square to reload, hold square to pick up a weapon. That makes sense, because if you were running around picking up weapons while trying to reload, that would suck. That makes sense. But why do I have to hold the square button for like 5 seconds to pick up anything? You know how demotivated I am from looting bodies when I have to go to every body? Square, square. Or if I hit open a barrel and there's like 7 fruits fall out. Okay, square, square. Like, no, fuck off. I'm just going to leave it all behind. I hate it in Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. But at least in that I had an excuse, because the details, the animations was meticulous and immaculate. I hated it. I hated opening a drawer having to go like, item, item. But again, the attention to detail made it make sense and feel a bit more worth it. And I can understand people liking it more. That's not the case in this game. Again, I hated it when it was done well. How do you think I feel when it's done shit? Ah, the story, there barely isn't. There barely is one. At the start of the game, you know how those MMO fetch quests that people laugh at was like, talk to guy, run over here, talk to guy, run over here, kill some enemies, do a thing. Imagine that, but take out the characters, the dialogue, and any shred of context. At one point, the beggar, it's like, give the beggar some, you go arm wrestling with some guy, then it's like, give money to the beggar. Like, okay. Then suddenly, go to the castle. Like, why? I'm sorry, did I miss something? You gave me zero context. I feel like I'm playing a game. Or what? It feels like watching a let's play, like board, skip, and then just you're at a different part. Like, what is happening? But I will say, the open world is fucking beautiful. The first time you drop down from the sky and get to glide, it is, looking down on the world in general, one of the most amazing experiences in a game ever. The music is some of the greatest I've ever heard in a game. Like, there's characters like mourning over somebody's death, and I don't know any of these people. I don't give a fuck about either one of them. But I was genuinely almost brought to tears just how good the music was with it. How well did it just the music with this, and even like you just be looking down at the world. It's so beautiful, and the music, or even just the lack of music, sometimes can be so perfect that you feel it so well. I'll be honest, I haven't played much because I haven't been playing games always much for like the last week or so. I think sometimes you just need to pull back for a minute, except on here, of course. But expect me to talk about this next time as well. And I think I'm afraid. I'm very afraid. That's what I've been doing here. I finished Duck Dynasty, got the platinum on. I got the platinum here. It was an okay-ish. Like it wasn't good. It had good moments, but God, the longer I went on, the more it dragged. I've definitely talked about this before, so that's good to my quick summary. I think the best, if I can sum this game up in one line, every cutscene of the game had the skip button on the bottom right. And I swear, the longer this game went on, the bigger and bigger it seemed to be. Guys, like, come on, come on. Getting the platinum was a chore to like 45 shooting galleries, and then boat races. Boat races about getting hit by an enemy boat. Do you know how there's any? You're this close, and you're just driving forward, and with rubber banding too. So you're like driving forward. Oh, I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. Bang. But it's Stock Dynasty. What? I'm glad I played it. I've been thinking about it for years, but I finally bit the bullet, and it was an experience. The game I'm moving on to after that, Matt Hazard, Eat Lead, The Return of Matt Hazard. I think it's still behind me. Yeah, I just left it up there. You're a famous movie star from like the or not movie, gaming star from the 80s. I'm not fully sure how it works if you're actually in the game or you're an actor or what's going on. But now you're doing a new game and they want you dead because they want you to be replaced with a different new character. The idea was that you're a big famous guy and yeah, you're going to be replaced in level 1 twist. But somebody helps you out, hacks into the game to let you live. It's a generic third person shooter in a lot of ways. Terrible cover mechanics. And I like you be running up to it, I think you're trying to get the cover. X, 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 X. Cover. And it's also about, I swear, the cover in this game, it's visually the worst thing ever. Cause it's like, he's like, can't see me. Can't get me. I'm in cover. Sometimes it works out anyway, and it's just a visual weird thing. Sometimes you're getting shot anyway. But I've just met the main villain in the game in a cutscene, and he might be the most wacky, uncomfortable thing I've ever seen, and I fucking love it. Like, he is a whack job. There's no other word for it, but yeah. Mostly generic third person shooter, less than average to be honest in that mechanic or regard, but the humor makes up for it. The characters and the world and the humor really make up for it, and just the weird enemy design. You find like in one level you go from cowboys to like nightclub bouncers and then Russians. And you fight the wackiest bosses in terrible quick time events, but charmingly shit. And it's not like some guys are like, yeah, we get it, you're self aware and silly, move on. And it's just, just shoves it down your throat and just never stops. But it's funny. I don't find a lot of games very funny, but this one makes me laugh a lot and I love it. Yeah, and it's getting better and better. I don't think it's ever going to be good. I think I'm going to look back and this is a average third person shooter with a funny story. But you know what? In terms of the shit games I've bought for like €2-3, it's doing pretty well. I think I'm getting lucky in that regard. But yeah, before that's been like 25 minutes. I can never keep these under 25 minutes because I just never stop. But anyway, that's everything I played this month. As always, let me know what you've played, what new stuff you played, what you've gone back to, and I'm gonna hopefully not take forever to get this out and not have my laptop explode on me again before I do. See you then.